Hi. Today, I'm going to explain an Australian science fiction film called Other Life. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The opening scene features the Amari siblings, attired in black wetsuits at the beach. The sister Ren wants to go for a swim, but her brother Jared is a bit nervous, as he is scared of high tides. Nonetheless, after a bit of insisting, he joins her in the water, and the two have a lot of fun. Subsequently, the scene transitions to a vivid and changing pattern, showing a view from the window of a building. Ren awakens with a stream of black fluid dripping from her eye. She is seen sitting on the floor with empty plastic eye drop containers. Ren is the lead researcher at a technology firm she co-founded with an entrepreneur named Sam. Using nanotechnology, she invented Other Life, a biological form of virtual reality that can generate lifelike memories. Using it, one can travel to a completely different environment and enjoy themselves with the utmost freedom. Right now, the product has not been made available to the market, and Ren is testing it on herself. She's usually supervised by her colleague Byron Finbar. However, unbeknownst to the others, she is also secretly testing the product on her comatose brother. Here it is revealed that Jared accidentally drowned when they went swimming. Ren managed to save him, but by that time, extensive damage had been done to his brain. From that day on, she has been blaming herself for her brother's condition. In the next scene, Ren is seated with the drug administration team, and one of the interviewers remarks on her outstanding academic achievements, which ceased 4 years ago. Ren claims it was caused by an accident where her brother almost drowned. The panel considers Other Life to be a challenging technology to classify, but Ren describes it as a form of biological software rather than a drug. In other words, it's like a really good drug. She explains that it allows one to program new experiences that are chemically indistinguishable from reality. The interviewers also bring up Ren's father, who had previously expressed concerns about the potential dangers of prolonged exposure to her technology, including the risk of seizures and brain death. Ren acknowledges that there are risks, because an abuse of any substance, whether it be an apple or what, can be dangerous. That's true. Too many Apple products and you become a dork. Later, Ren is experimenting with a snowboarding experience, in which she climbs a snowy mountain and descends down. However, the program suddenly goes through a technical issue, which causes the whole experience to repeat. Upon awakening, Ren discovers that she has been immersed in the Other Life world for 6 days already. Despite encountering technical glitches, she remains optimistic about fixing them and believes that Other Life will be a popular product in the future. On the other hand, the entrepreneur Sam is pitching the Other Life concept to investors, assuring them that the product can be marketed as a near instantaneous experience that can last for days. All of our customers are going to shit themselves. Literally, it's going to be great. After the meeting, Sam and Ren have a disagreement about the future direction of the company. Ren is dealing with a lot of problems, and in the midst of it all, her romantic relationship with a coworker named Danny suffers due to her lack of time. Later that night, Ren and Byron successfully identify the error in the code and test the revised version without any further issues. It appears that she has completed 482 tests. Each one of them corresponds to approximately 20 days in Other Life. A few days later, Ren returns to the hospital to test the Other Life on her brother once more, and this time, his eye twitches, giving her a glimmer of hope. Unfortunately, when she shares it with the doctor, he tells her that it is a common occurrence in comatose patients. Surely Ren would have known that by now. The following day, Ren visits her father, who is a professor at a college. They discuss Other Life and its potential to help Jared come out of his coma. Ren expresses her confidence that the glitches in the tech are merely a result of bad code. But her father disagrees. He argues that mental conditions such as anxiety and depression are also a type of bad code. Ren becomes upset with her father, feeling that he has given up on her brother, and warns him against unplugging Jared without her consent. However, the old man dismisses her and walks away. While at work, Sam and Byron find out that the amount of nanites being used are much higher than what Ren has reported. They ask her what simulation she's been running, but she doesn't disclose any details, saying that it's still experimental. A few moments later, Sam and Ren are alone when she shares his most recent idea. He wants the government to license their product for use as an alternative to prisons. According to Sam, the inmates would be trapped inside their own heads for years, while only a minute passed in real time, alleviating prison overcrowding. However, Ren firmly declines the proposal, saying it's not applicable. Following this, she heads out of the building and comes across Danny. The two are meeting after a long time apart, so they decide to spend some private time together. Once they are done having coitus, Ren allows him to try the snowboarding experience in Other Life, which he thoroughly enjoys. After this, she gets back to work while Danny grabs another eye drop and tries it, unaware that it is the experimental one she designed for Jared. This causes him to suffer from violent seizures, and when Ren notices this, she immediately calls 911. Unfortunately, Danny is unable to survive. In the next scene, when Sam finds out about the incident, he confronts Ren and angrily questions her about the experience that caused Danny's death. It appears that all of the experiences have been thoroughly tested and approved, except for that one. This causes a major backlash in the media, and the officials are on the verge of shutting down the company. However, Sam is not going to let that happen so easily. Using his influence and wealth, he strikes a deal in which the government agrees to drop all charges, and in exchange, Ren will have to spend 1 year of solitary confinement in other life. When the latter learns of this, she is furious that Sam went behind her back and commercialized this idea. However, for the sake of their company, she agrees to be a part of it. Following this, they all proceed to the testing room, where Byron administers the eye drop to Ren. The next second, she finds herself in a small room that consists of basic necessities of life, including bottled water, canned tuna, sleeping mat, tablet, pen, and a toilet.
That tablet better have mystery recapped,
says Ren. Ren begins to spend her time working out, eating, and taking notes on her tablet. The room she is confined in also has a screen displaying the number of days she has spent there. For the first few days, Ren is depressed, remembering Danny and her brother from the past. But with each day that passes, she becomes more hopeful that she can still bring her brother back, using codes. Eventually, a year passes, and Ren expects to return to her real world. However, she crumbles when the confinement counter is reset to 001 without her release. This is when Ren realizes that the exit code has failed, prompting her to panic. She yells and breaks things around her in rage.
It's just one of those days!
Not long after, she discovers a gap inside the hatch, which she dislodges in order to make her way out. As Ren exits the confinement room, she comes across a storage area with food and water, as well as a monitoring room from which she was being watched. This makes her realize that she has been imprisoned in a real-world cell the entire time. Just then, a guard comes running towards her, but Ren is not going to stay in the confinement anymore. Hence, she steals a vehicle and flees the area. Outside, Ren notices a busy road with other life advertisements everywhere. Alarmed, she heads to her workplace, only to discover that it is empty. She then goes to the police station, where the officer shockingly reveals that Ren has been recorded as living in Italy for the past year. Upon hearing this, she attempts to explain that she is the co-founder of Other Life, and that she has been held captive in a cell for the past year. However, when they go to investigate the cell, it has already vanished. This makes the police suspicious about her story, so they simply ask her to go home. Feeling lost and unsure of whom to trust, Ren goes to the apartment she used to live in, but she finds someone else residing there. A short while later, Sam shows up and offers to take her somewhere safe, but Ren, who doesn't believe him anymore, runs away from there. She then seeks refuge with her trustworthy colleague Cass, who lets her in and provides her with food. After a while, Cass reveals that everyone assumed Ren had cashed out and left for Italy. It was apparently a rumor that the cunning Sam had spread, so as to not arouse any suspicion. At this point, Ren is having a hard time processing everything around her, but Cass finally gives her some good news. She discloses that Danny is actually alive. He never died, as the doctors managed to resuscitate him a week after Ren's imprisonment. That night, the couple finally reunites, and they promise to never leave each other again. Later, the trio heads to a restaurant where they discuss the events of the past year. Ren discovers that Other Life has become a major success and is currently being used for a variety of purposes, including long-term confinements. She then decides to get to the bottom of what happened, and Danny suggests that she go to the media and expose Sam. However, Ren says that she doesn't have any evidence against him. In the next scene, using Cass's ID card, Ren and Danny sneak into the Other Life building and start looking for her previous data. Inside, they come across Byron, who is also revealed to be one of the conspirators behind the whole scandal. Danny immediately restrains him, allowing Ren to search for the data. Shortly after, she manages to locate the hard drive, but by this time, Byron has already alerted security. The couple somehow manages to flee the scene, after which they get into a car. Along the way, Ren discloses that they will need a printer to prepare the chemical, but since all the Other Life offices in the city are on high alert, they cannot go there. Suddenly, she remembers that she had kept one at her father's home in the woods, so the couple quickly heads there. Upon arriving, they find the house empty, and Ren gets to work. She spends the whole night trying to prepare the chemical, and in the process, she falls asleep. The next day, Ren's father returns home, and she confides in him about everything. This time, the old man is willing to support her mission. Now, with renewed motivation, Ren gets back to work, and it doesn't take her much time to create a new, more advanced prototype of Other Life. Wasting no time, she drives to the hospital and administers it to her brother. Surprisingly, the chemical works, and Jared wakes up, making Ren very happy. However, her joy is short-lived as the poor guy suddenly starts having seizures. When the situation gets worse, a distraught Ren pulls the plug, finally letting her brother pass away in peace. Just when it appears that the drama is over, Ren starts to experience fragmented memories of the testing room, with people yelling and Byron urging her to wake up. It is revealed that her supposed escape was part of an other-life glitch during her year-long imprisonment. This means that all of her post-incarceration experiences were also part of an interactive other-life experience. Now Ren finds herself alone on the beach, and she walks alone into the water, letting the waves wash over her. The water transforms into kaleidoscopic imagery. Whoa! And she suddenly awakens in the testing room. After going through all of this, Ren takes some time to calm herself down before heading to Sam's cabin. She then announces that she will take a hiatus from the company to concentrate on R&D. She will leave the company to Sam, but will keep the patent. Later, after Ren attends Danny's funeral, she suddenly gets a call from Sam, asking her to come to the testing room to see something important. When she arrives, she finds Sam and Byron reviewing her experience. The cunning entrepreneur points out a section of her brain scan that corresponds to her interactive experience. He says that she miraculously managed to escape the virtual prison, and it could be a major breakthrough for their future plans. Sam now wants her to take part in yet another test to find more conclusive results, but when Ren refuses, he abruptly administers the chemical in her eyes, forcing her into the same cell. Byron reluctantly goes along with it when Sam says it's the only way to compel Ren's assistance. In the other world, Ren manages to calm herself down, allowing the simulation to run faster and loop infinitely. Soon after, she wakes up on her own in the real world, hence beating the virtual prison twice. However, this time, an angry Ren is not going to let things slide so easily. She wipes the chemical from her eyes and quickly into Sam's, trapping him in his own year-long other-life imprisonment. The program experiences a bug that endangers his life, but Ren refuses to let Sam escape until he serves the full 365 days. She even waits for a few extra days so that he can experience her agony when the countdown reset to 0. Once Sam recovers, Ren leaves him to sob in the chair. The movie ends as she and her father head to the hospital and tearfully unplug Jared's life support. Ren then goes to the same beach and watches the ocean, reminiscing about the good times spent with her late brother. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.